Nobody came with me when I said I'm going to do credit and I'm educated on credit. Nobody wanted to be a part of that. I said, okay, cool. I said, so now I'm in the I'm back by myself.
Yeah.
Figuring it out. I'm doing credit repair. $40,000 a month. Credit repair. But I'm at the point where my eyes are bleeding. I'm working so hard.
Yeah.
It's hard work. I said, I can't keep doing this. I said, I got to research and I got to get to the point to where I could do something that is going to allow me to service more people with less time and make more money.
Right.
So I educated myself. I came across information. I started just like, what other credit ways can we get this stuff done? That's when I stumbled upon Metro 2 compliance.
Okay.
Educated myself on that and started the software development process, and that's why we're here today.
I love that. And I think that story is helpful because people can identify in different places in your story depending on where they're at in their journey.
Yeah.
And just know that, again, it doesn't happen overnight. You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
Overnight successes take about 10 to 14 years to materialize.
For big facts.
Yeah. So you mentioned the Metro 2 compliance piece, and I want to talk about that because shout out to one of your mentees.
All right.
I never heard of Metro 2 compliance before you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know you're too busy to do my own Metro 2 compliance. I'm not bothering you with that, but like I was in the market for a supercar, and when you purchasing a $300,000-$400,000 car, a difference in 1 or 2 points in interest rates is a lot. That's
a lot
of money.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So I had like a 700, but I was like, if I get to 800, I'll get the best interest rate possible.
Absolutely.
And so I reached out to you. You put me in touch with one of your mentees.
Yeah.
And she got me from a 700 to 810 in like 60 days using Metro 2.
That's good stuff.
Right. So it works. It worked for me. And I'm going to save a whole lot of money on the supercar I'm about to buy. Yeah. But like, why is Metro 2 so effective? And why don't more people know about it?
I think more people don't know about it because it's a concept of keeping the rich rich and the poor poor. Credit is the gatekeeper of all things in life. If you don't have the life that you want or you desire, it's because you're not you either have bad credit or you have good credit and you haven't quite learned how to leverage it. And I understand I'm saying it and it sounds easy, but then if you don't understand what I'm saying, then you have to go and educate yourself so that way you can have understanding, so that way you can say, have your aha moment, then you can push and move forward and you can start changing your current situation. But as simple as I can kind of put it, Metro 2 compliance is just, I don't want to overcomplicate it, but here's what I'll tell you. There's 3 ways that a person can go through and get items removed from their credit profile. You can do what everybody in the world does, which is 99% of people that say that they doing credit repair companies are running one. That's called factual disputing. That means when I look at something on your credit profile, if there's any inaccurate information, if that's not factual data and information, I can send in a letter to the credit bureau and I can request them to delete it. That's factual disputing. That's what everybody does. Now, everybody you can see slowly in the last few years, if you look at like TikTok and different, influencers, they're starting to educate people on what's called consumer law, which is the laws that I have as a consumer when it comes to credit reportability. And so when you look at that, they're saying, hey, look, this law is against you reporting this information or putting this on my credit profile. And so they're coming to do consumer law. The third piece that people don't know and that they're learning about now through me educating the world is Metro 2 compliance, which is essentially a credit compliance standard that the credit bureau has put in place in 1997 that basically states that anything that you are looking to have reported on a consumer's credit profile, it must meet compliance standard of reportability. Gotcha. Otherwise, it can't be reported. Gotcha. And none of the stuff goes through the compliance standard to be reported. So when you send in a Metro 2 compliant letter that has all the coding that is being read by the machine, then it just simply deletes it, because what people don't know is that 2 things that are very important is that nobody knows that the reason why when you send in regular letters to the credit bureaus and they continue to report negative items is because they get paid to report. Whether it's negative or positive, if they can report it, like if you go get a car from Ford Motor Company and they're reporting it, Ford Motor Company is just saying that you either paying or you're not paying. That's the only leverage that Ford has to get you to continue to pay. Otherwise, you run off with the car.
Right.
Because if you say, well, dang, they just reported this late payment, it's jacking up my credit, now nobody else is going to give me a car. That's the only leverage that they got.
Right.
Because it is collateral damage, but it's really, they got to find the car at that point if you decide to not pay on it.
Yeah. Right.
Same thing with house, or same thing with anything else. And so when you think about that, it's like, if I can just simply get something that puts me in a position to go against reportability standards, I'm golden. And that's what Metro 2 does. I mean, it may sound complicated first hearing it, but it's super, super simple.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I think the difference is like Metro 2 is like saying like, you said you couldn't do this. Like it's using their standard against them to make sure that it gets removed and whatever happened.
And here's the second point. They get paid to report, right?
Uh-huh.
The second part is when we send in a letter to the credit bureaus, there's really no human involvement. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So when you send in letters, the only real human involvement barely is the mail people got to bring the letters in, and all they do is just open them. They not read them. They feed them into a machine called eOscar.
Right.
Yeah.
And that, if you Google what is eOscar, it's an online, web-based, Metro 2 compliant automated machine that allow data furnishers, such as the credit bureaus or any secondary bureaus, to report data and information to your consumer credit profile. So that means that they open up a letter, they just put it on like a little belt, and the machine just scans it. And it's just looking for coding in language that it reads, which is Metro 2 compliant coding. Yeah. So if you got that in your letter and it says that this account right here, and it reads the account, the name, the number, and it says incompliant to be reported, it's just going to delete it.
Got you.
You just got to just use their standards against them. That's it.
That makes perfect sense. And so now you have a software that helps facilitate this.
Yep.
And you said that the hunt was 140 people that didn't come with you over to this. So now you went and got your revenge and said, you know what, shoot, I'm a coach people, and now you still got them over here.
Yeah.
So talk to us a little bit about how you are helping disseminate this message and helping more people get served with the business that you have alongside of the software business.
Yeah. So what I did was I took myself or anybody who either wants to improve and enhance their credit or they are running a credit repair company. I really kind of took us out of the fold of responsibility. Okay. So what I did was I put it back on the consumer to learn how to fish. So, biblically, if you teach a man how to fish, you can feed him for a lifetime. But if you fish for him, you're going to feed him for that day. So as opposed to somebody saying, well, I don't know how to repair my credit, I'm going to pay somebody to do it. You don't have to do that anymore. Use this software. It's only $97 a month until you get your desired results. If it take you 1 month and Carter's case 2 months, 3 months or what have you, you can just do that instead of paying somebody to do it for you. Right. Now, if you Carter, you just too busy to do it, then if you're going to pay somebody to do it, no matter what you pay them, then at least pay somebody that's using Metro 2.
Because they're going to be able to do it faster.
Because they're going to be able to get it done the fastest, and they have the best chance at getting you the actual result that you were looking for. Plus, have you put in a position where your items are not going to come back. Yeah. Because how they get deleted determines if they can put it back.
Right.
So if you send in a letter saying that this ain't mine, and you just happen to get it deleted, and then the creditor say,
yes,
no,
this
is his. Here's the contract.
They're
gonna just re-report it because they get paid to report. Versus a letter going in and saying, hey, this account don't meet the ability of compliance to be reported. So they say, oh, we in trouble. We got to delete that. But hey, look, we messed up. We effed up. We don't want to get in trouble. We don't want to get no fines. That's our standard. We didn't meet the standard to report it, so we got to delete it. You see what I'm saying? And then what the software also did was, especially for like individual like myself, me running my business, I said, I need to create something that, one, is going to allow me to move faster, service more people, make more money. So the software did that. And then I said, you know what? I said, we have to make sure that we can remove ourselves out of the fold. So what if I just want to just market this thing and let people do it themselves? That was the game changer for me. And the reason why I had to get that done is because I moved from Chicago to Georgia. And when I moved from Chicago to Georgia, I started researching the laws and the information, and it was like, anybody charging to do credit repair in Georgia, that's a misdemeanor. I was like, hold on, wait a minute. I said, now I can't be out here trying to lead people and got people following me, and I'm teaching the legal stuff. This is why people was doing credit repair going to jail.
Wow, okay.
So it's against the law. It's CROA. The Credit Repair Organization Act states that a person can't charge for credit repair. You're not supposed to be doing that. If you look it up, if you Google, is credit repair illegal in Georgia, it's going to say that it's illegal. Unless you are an attorney, a licensed attorney. Now, who gonna go to get the bar exam and
just to help you
go
credit?
do credit?
You're not gonna do that.
That ain't happening.
You know what I'm saying? So there's no real regulations to get into this industry. So people are getting into it and they just saying it. Or you got to be a tax exempt company or like a non-for-profit. It's like, come on, bro. Who really finna? You're not doing that. Most people that's running credit programs, they sold props. You like, I'm gonna start a credit report. It's like you just get into it tomorrow and you throw up a little post and you charge, and it's like, and so that is, you gotta. It's like they are protecting people's information. They're protecting consumers' rights in order to do business right. So it's like that was a whole nother concept. And it was like, and I had went to ClickFunnels that same exact time. And so everything hit me at once. And Russell Brunson was like, man, if you don't have, you know, a business that is monthly recurring,
you
don't
got
a
a
business.
reoccurring revenue business. You don't have a business. That's still stuck in my head.
So
today.
I said, illegal, reoccurring, got it. Let me go to work.
Yeah.
7 months later, I soft launched my software, started, you know, hosting weekly webinars, free webinars to just inform and educate people on Metro 2 and the software that I was able to create and how it could work for you. Showing testimonials, showing receipts, showing results. Because again, people who scam and who don't do right by people, they don't got testimonials. They don't got receipts. They don't show up. They don't do that.
Yeah.
So I showed up, it was like 18 months straight, 2 days a week, just educating people on Metro 2, just showing them what's going on. Yeah. And so here we are now, 17,000 people later.
17,000.
17,000.
17,000.
In the last couple of years.
Wow. So I know you don't want to stop helping people. I know 17,000 isn't the cutoff point.
No, that's a great number. I love that number, but no, we got to keep going.
So that being said, do you have anything coming up soon that people want to learn, want to tap in with you, that people might be interested in?
Yeah. So what I started doing is I started doing something. And I really started this in 2025. I've been doing it for a couple of years, but I started doing something a little bit different with the concept of like teaching and coaching people. So what I'm doing now, what I got going is I have 5 days of live mentorship.
Okay.
5 days? Wow.
5 days of live mentorship with me.
Okay.
5 days live.
So you're going to show up every day for 5 days for a week and just teach
week.
people.
Yep.
And just bless the people.
Yep. And I'm doing motivation too. So every single morning, I'm going to wake you up. I'm going to be your cup of coffee. You don't need that. I got you. I got you on a cup of coffee. You got that. And then every day, I'm going to get you out my DM. You're going to come to this class. So all the questions that you be in my DM, because I can't possibly answer that many DMs with that many followers. Yeah. So I'm going to get you out of the DM. You can ask questions for an hour, and then we're going to educate you for an hour every day for 5 days straight. Okay. And the beautiful part about this, why I said I did something different, is because I'm not even going to lie. Normally when I host, I'm $300, $400, $500 because, you know, I need my time is valuable. But I said for 2025, I'm going to make people mad at themselves and not mad at me. So I said 5 days straight, $50.
What?
That's less than $10 a day.
Wow.
Less than $10 a day. I'm gonna help you keep poverty away.
That's insane.
Yep.
That's okay.
Yep. And 2025, if you listen, you gotta almost just want to.
You just gotta hate money at that point. 50.
At that point.
That's crazy. That's you gonna spend that on your first round of drinks at the bar. Your first round of drinks at the bar.
Look. Let me get that Starbucks money.
Exactly.
It's a little Starbucks because they're gonna need it.
Because here's the truth.
Because you gonna be that cup of coffee for 5 days.
Yeah. First of all, I'm gonna be your cup of coffee. But if you come spend 5 days, I'll show you how to get free coffee.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna show you how to work credit, leverage your cashback reward. I'm gonna show you the game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna make it so simple because I teach to the point to where a third grader can understand it. And so if you come spend these 5 days with me, I will change your understanding, your mindset, and your thought process when it comes down to financial literacy, credit, how to manage it, how to leverage it, how to grow a business, how to start a business, how to scale a business. I will teach you that.
Love to see it. Okay, well, we'll put all the information in the show notes for anybody that's interested in tapping in with 5 days of live
is crazy
mentorship for $50. Yep. And on top of that, you're gonna do more than motivation, so you don't need no coffee.
I got you.
So you're gonna save him some money over the course of that 5 days too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I got it.
Okay, well, brother, we appreciate you coming through again. This was a really dope conversation, and again, we don't have that many people we can have these really, in-depth, high-level conversations with. So appreciate you coming out, brother. I know people gonna love this one, and we'll make sure to link to the show notes and then all your social media so they can give you a follow, bro. Yeah. But thank you for coming to Melon Money Studios, man.
Until next time. I feel good to say, don't it?
Yeah.
Until next time.
Hey, look, y'all got to tell him to bring me back in the notes. Say, look, bring him back.
Episode 4.
Episode 4.
Bring him back. But
Yes, sir.
appreciate you, brother. Until next time.
Peace.
Appreciate y'all.